So this is a high side buck converter which I am using N-channel MOSFET with a bootstrap. This is an optocoupler. This is a TLP350. You can also use TLP250 as well. However, this carry a bit more current. So this is a bootstrap diode. This is a TL494IMC, and it have all the complementary circuits available: overcurrent protection, voltage sensing, and soft start, and all the necessary stuff that all the pins need to be used. I'm just showing you that you can use a N-channel MOSFET to make a high side buck converter if you don't have any P-channel, and this worked out pretty well. However, this is just for demonstration purposes to show you guys that this is possible to use an NPN. So drive it at. However, I'm using a low voltage input. Getting out only 5 volts, and the duty cycle, as you can see, I can variably up and down. See, so it doesn't really matter. However, the voltage really does turn up and down. That's the max I can get, and the lowest I can get is around 4 volts. So that's just how it works. So that's how you know you can use a bootstrap to drive a high side MOSFET, and I can input around 100 volts into this, and it will work pretty well. But however, you're gonna have to, I'm using a voltage from here. However, you're gonna have to use different voltage to drive this. So you're gonna have to use an additional power supply to get around 15 volts to drive this part of the circuit, and the high voltage you connect with this side. Well, at that time you're gonna use an optocoupler and a TL413 shunt regulator to regulate the voltage, so the high voltage doesn't affect the switching noise from the high voltage transient, doesn't affect this part of the circuit. So you'd have the low voltage input and the high voltage output. So guys, give a like if you feel you have gotten some information on this circuit.